I just had the most fun with an interview with Galadriel Stineman. She's an actress and she has been in so many things. Like, I can't believe how many things she's been in, but she was in The Middle. She was in on This Is Us. She did some NCSI. She did some, you kind of name it. She's been on it and she's done movies. She's also a producer and a screenwriter. She has two novels out. She's just absolutely amazing. And she's a wife and a mom and just the coolest person. And she has a new series that comes out tomorrow. So I wanted to get this out. So I've got the interview coming right after this. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here. You're going to be so happy you're here. I have got Galadriel Stineman with me today. She is one of my favorite actresses. I have to say, she has been in so many things, and she's in this series that's come out, Sugarbush Amish Mysteries. I love everything with the Amish. I live in Michigan, and so the Amish are my neighbors all over the place. And I think we're kind of hers growing up too, so that's kind of cool. But she was in The Middle. She was in This Is Us. She was in Ben 10. She was in a great big huge list of things. She's a writer. She's written novels and screenplays, and she teaches, and she's married, and she has kids. I mean, it's crazy how much you do. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. And just a small correction, it's Sugar Creek Amish
Oh,
Mysteries.
what did I say? Whatever I
To
said.
be
Sorry
the
about that.
You said
Okay.
Sugar Bush, which
Oh.
also sounds great. Perhaps that could be the spinoff. Um, but yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me and for the wonderful introduction. I made me sound so fancy.
Well, you are pretty fancy, actually. I mean, you have just, and you're so young to have done so much. Like, you blow me away because some people in your industry want to do things, and your list is forever long. Like, do you ever get a break? You just seem so busy.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the way I get to spend my day is a privilege. I know there are a lot of people who would love to do a lot of the things I'm doing, but their primary job is a 9 to 5. I am really blessed that I have the flexibility that on days when I'm not auditioning or on set, or I get to be my own boss. So that helps. And also, I'm a creative person. I like to make things, and I never really understood. Be like, we should do this. We should do. I don't know. We should. I'm just like, great. When? When are we doing it? I already made this outline. Let's start right now. So, I'm sure that for those very close to me, I can be a lot sometimes, but I don't think I'm ever boring, probably.
Yeah, well, I kind of like a lot, so that really works for me, I gotta say. And you're married to an actor, so that's a whole different thing. And you've done some stuff with him, and you have a studio together. And I love your attitude about mothering, about your kids. Like, you could live in LA and they could have this whatever LA lifestyle, and you're like, no, I want my kids to have the lifestyle that I had. So tell me
Yeah.
about what was it like being an 8-year-old you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was actually not sitting that far from where I am now, just outside Cincinnati in northern Kentucky. And the world and especially show business was so different then. There wasn't a lot going on here, and you certainly didn't have access to stuff out of here. So when I was 8, I also had a lot of interests like I do now, but I was at Playhouse in the Park here and CCM and auditioning for things and always being very dramatic. And I was a dancer and gymnast and a horseback rider. I had a wild imagination and big dreams, and there was definitely a lot of detours to get from there to the girl who moved to Los Angeles and didn't know anybody. But I'm really grateful to be back here. I spent almost 2 decades in LA. My husband, Kevin, born and raised there. So that's been fairly new. But I will say also, I think I'm so lucky that my kids got to have both because there are advantages to living in one of the international cities in the United States. We don't have to directly be like, let's sit down and talk about diversity and talk, and I'm so grateful that they got such a large worldview culturally and had that. But I really wanted them to have this and just to be in a place where you can, our youngest is in third grade and after school, he just comes in and throws down his backpack and runs off in the neighborhood. And I still have that split second of, "Ooh," and then I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And in the yards next to mine, the parents are looking out for the kids there. And, I don't know a lot of people who've had the same experience we have, but so far I think it's working out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds like it. And I really like that your kids did get that experience and now have this. What was the transition like for them? Was it tough or did they just fall right into it?
Well, it's been interesting because I think to them it actually felt like it took forever us going from there to here because this would never have been an option for us pre-COVID, and as much horrible things as there are about that time, there were some silver linings. And actually, there are some horrible things about not being and auditioning in person anymore. There's a lot of that community lost. But the one thing it gave us was the option, if we're kind of already established and have the resources to not have to be there every day. So I would say 2020 got us thinking. We let some of our friends go be guinea pigs first. Like, is this really something we could do? I always thought we'd have to either quit the business or be like, so like Meryl Streep and they just come to wherever I was, and didn't know we'd have this choice. But it was 2021 and I did a movie in Nashville. It was actually a Christmas movie. We drove up here. My husband met me and we drove up here and just explored and thought like, I don't know, what if we did this? And so that got the ball rolling. By 2022, we were ready to go. And then there was a writer's strike and then there was an actor's strike. And as you mentioned, we also have an acting studio. So we were like, this might not be the time. So the kids by then were like, are we ever move? At first, they were like, I don't know if I would have moved. And they're like, are we ever going? And so our oldest started high school, actually, which was crazy. And we were like, well, it's got to be before that. And it just so happened that the season one of this show came up last summer. So it was wild. They finished school in LA in June. And a couple days later, we just packed our suitcases and our cats and went straight to Sugarcreek, which is about a 4-hour drive north of where we live now. And then from there, we came here. So we actually didn't even get our stuff until last Thursday because we never really moved. We were just like, the priority was the kids need to be able to start school and we'll figure it out. And, one of my favorite sayings is momentum is messy. And it has been messy, but it's funny because it's almost been a year since we left LA. Well, we've been back plenty, but living there full time. And it's just a couple days ago that I've been like, oh, okay, we actually don't like live there anymore. Yeah.
Oh, well, I would think it'd be a big head transition. You were there for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And as I said, I'm the only one in my family who knew what it was like to live anywhere else because my husband's born and raised. Obviously, my kids were born and raised there. And they just love it. And I think what helps is that we know that LA is there for us anytime we want. It feels for us now like it's better that it's a place we can visit than a place that's our home base. And, here, not all the conversations are about work. I said to Kevin last week, I said, it's amazing to me how many people I'm close to here. And I don't even really know what they do for work. Unless like they offer a service that I use, like getting my hair done, or they wear scrubs, or it's just not the most interesting thing about them. And, it's been kind of nice for a business that's so just hustle, and, trying to just make things happen and network to just be able to clock out at the end of the day and sit on our deck and just listen to the birds,
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's gotta feel just so human.
Yeah.
Because it is hard. I would imagine it's got to be hard. You go out to eat, you do whatever in LA. People know you. You're around other people who are in the business, and it's hard to just leave it behind at the studio.
Yeah.
It's gonna go with you wherever you go.
And it's an expensive city, obviously, that has gotten more expensive even as more business has moved away. And it's hard to get across town. And, so as soon as we got here, because even though we're in Kentucky, we're only about 4 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. That's what I say is so amazing. I should say, if anybody's listening, we do lock our doors, but we don't have to lock our doors. But we're 4 minutes to downtown, and then we're also 15 minutes to the country. And so, anytime there's a festival, we're like, well, let's just drive. Let's go. 20 miles is 20 minutes,
Right.
20 miles in LA is like 2.5 hours. So we've also just, I think, become much more like sociable and active and just like taking in the place we live because it's easier. And I'll always love LA. You asked about the 8-year-old me. She was dreaming of living there. But I also don't think that necessarily dreams are something you have forever. Like I think I did that dream and I got what I wanted to get from it. And now I have a new dream, and a yard.
Hard. Yeah. And the cats got to come with you. So you're all set.
Yeah, it's great. And they're loving their school. And, it's a community that I have stayed in touch with since I moved. So reconnecting with old friends and them meeting their kids and living by my mom is great. She's never been a local grandmother before. So, it's been wonderful.
Oh, I'm sure she loves it. I'm sure she.
Oh, she does.
I can tell you.
It was kind of funny at first. She'd be like, I was thinking of coming by. And I'm like, you could just come by. Like we live in the same town as her. I'm like, you can just come here. But it's like we're so used to she'd come out and she usually would be the one who would watch our kids if Kevin and I were off doing a film together. She'd come to LA if they were in school and be with them, or it'd be vacation. And so just this day to day. And now we've got it figured out. Now she's having her packages delivered here. And sometimes I'll hear the door and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were coming in. But our next step is my mother-in-law is still in Los Angeles. So we're slowly working on getting her here. So that's the next step.
Yeah. Oh, I bet she's missing you guys.
Yeah, she is. I mean, the nice thing is for everybody, she is a piano teacher and she's our children's piano teacher. So every week they still have that Zoom time with her where they do that in addition to just the grandma talk and stuff like that. But we all miss her and I know she misses the kids a lot. And, I think she was even extra excited about the show because she's like, I get to see you guys. So but everybody's been supportive and she's also been a big help as we we weren't sure if we were going to keep our home there and just go back and forth, but we ended up selling our place and deciding we'll rent there. And she was a huge help. So maybe it's good that she's waiting a little to come, but we're ready for her.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So you like your mother-in-law. That's always a good sign. That's always.
I know. I hear that. I say that all the time. I'm like, everybody's got their aggravations with their parents and their in-laws, but we really hit the jackpot mutually. So,
that's so good. That's so
yeah,
good.
yeah, it helps a lot because I think, we got married pretty young and I don't think you necessarily think about all that when you do. Like you are marrying a whole family,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yes. So very thankful for whatever divine intervention. Cause I was like, oh, wow, that's great. That worked out that way.
No kidding. No kidding. Yeah. Yeah. That is good. Okay. So let's talk about this project.
Yeah.
I love Amish country. I love everything about the Amish. I had a good friend who wrote a book, Money Secrets of the Amish. Really, really good. You might want to pick it up. Yeah, Laura Lee Craker, Money Secrets of the Amish.
Well, I'll have this on the podcast. So I'm like, I was not ready.
Yeah. Or I'll send it to you.
I would love a link to it.
Yeah. But so you get to be in Amish country while you're doing this, but this is your first Amish experience with everything. But then it's so unique too, because it was a movie and now it's a series and that doesn't happen that often. So what's it been like for you?
It's funny because some people were like, you're the queen of Amish movies. And I was like, well, when you put it that way, I don't know that I have a ton of competition for them, but it is true that we found our way into this niche. And, the first Amish romance I was a part of was 2017, so 9 years ago, and it's great because then everything I was trying to learn about the Amish community was really coming from books and documentaries and, all these things. And it wasn't really until we did the film, which is serving as the pilot for the show that covers the first two books, that we were fully immersed in the world of the Amish. And I actually felt kind of shy because I was like, oh my gosh, I've been like learning so much about this culture. And, on that one, our wardrobe assistant is an Amish woman, and the town is Amish. And so many of the people whose homes we're shooting at are Amish. Some of the extras are Amish, And so I think that's been the most rewarding thing is that early on in my learning about the Amish, I saw how incorrectly they're portrayed so much in pop culture and in the media. And they often, because of the nature of their faith, aren't a part of defending themselves. And so I sort of became this, no one asked me to be like an Amish ambassador, but it's funny. Amish people come up in conversation. Oh, this, that, or if they're Amish. And I'd always be like, excuse me, actually, no, that's not accurate. And so, now I have Amish friends, and I have such a respect for their way of life. They are just a true example of walking what they talk. There's no hypocrisy to what they believe, and it's actually pretty like modern in the sense that they believe like they don't evangelize. They're like, you have to be an adult in order to make these decisions for yourself. Just stuff that, people would be like, oh, they have arranged marriages. That's the opposite of what they are. And above all, forgiveness is the center of their core values, and leaving it up to God to judge. And so there's a lot of communities in Sugarcreek. It's actually the largest concentration of Amish in the world. So lots of different churches, but they depend on the tourist community, and they were all just with us the whole time. It was amazing.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, and we're so out of time, and I feel so bad about that because I could talk to you and talk to you and talk to you, and
I know. I'm doing this.
yeah, and I love talking about the Amish. And so, where can people see the show? Tell people what you want them to know.
Yes. So this show is for people who love mysteries, who love romance, who are interested in the Amish. And it's really appealing to also people who are interested in period stuff because it kind of feels like that. And so I also think that, there's always a whole of good, wholesome entertainment that is safe for the whole family to sit down and watch, especially in the mystery genre, and they're going to find this here. So, I've found that there's a huge crowd just for the Amish romances. So I'm like, you add in a mystery to every episode and an ongoing development of characters, and I think they're going to love it. So anybody who wants to tune in to Sugarcreek Amish Mysteries, the first episode will air tomorrow, Thursday, April 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern, and they can also stream the episodes on the Up Faith and Family app. So, and they'll see we're doing a lot on social media and all over. So if they find us on there, they're not going to be able to miss it. But if they don't have that channel already, they can get the app and find it there.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And I'm telling you, everybody, it's really good. You're going to want to tune in and you're going to want to watch it. And you are so good. This was so fun. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. And I'll be telling everybody where to go to get the show.
Thank you so much, Kim. We'll have to do it again sometime when we have a little more time. But
yeah, no kidding.
And I appreciate you shining a light on our show.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Yeah, thanks so much. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And until we see each other again, I just pray that you keep your heart open and you live your love loud.